In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. All of us, many of us, do have certain complexes. One of such complexes that we want to be a part of elite class. We want to make friendship with certain people with some of the people from the upper class, from the elite class. This is a sort of complex which many of us are nurturing, which many of us are having. Those who do have, consider it something as smartness, consider it something as a matter of pride, consider it something as a sort of shortcut. I think so. It is none of these. It is none of these. It is a mere complex, and like every complex, it has many, it creates many troubles for a human being. For every human being who is keeping it, all sort of complexes, including this one. These complexes are actually, we do try to develop a sort of double personality. Every human being who is having one type of complex or the other type of complex, I think so. Everyone who is holding a complex, everybody who is afflicted, everybody who has adopted, everybody who has opted for a complex, I think each one of these people are having certain troubles, and at least one trouble which is very visible, and that is having a kind of double personality. They are something, they are something, but they are projecting themselves as someone who they are actually not. And once a person is having a complex like this one, what they do is actually they are trying to detach themselves, they are trying to distance themselves from their real roots. These people are trying to distance themselves from their roots. They are trying to hide their true identity. They don't want to show the world where they came from. You might have heard that some of the people call their father as an employee, as a servant. Once once the so-called once the so-called friends from the upper class are there. How pity it is, how shameful it is. But believe me or not, you might be knowing it that some of the people have done a heinous act like this one. How shameful, how shameful, and how shameful it is. It is only because somebody is trying to hide the true self of one, the true self. Once somebody is trying to hide, once somebody is trying to distance oneself from its originality, and once somebody is trying to hide the true roots of someone else, I think the matter of our pride should be our roots, and we should be proud of it, and we should be telling it, even if at all Allah Rabbul Izzat, if at all Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala has made us develop and progress, and we have achieved some sort of status, some sort of good position in the society, I think we must be grateful to our parents and to all the people at our background, all the people who have contributed even slightly for our development and progress, and even the people who did not lay hurdles on our way to on our way to success and success, on our way to development, and on our way to prosperity. I believe that the people who are trying to hide their true self, I believe that the people who are trying to hide their originality, I believe that the people who are trying to distance themselves from their roots and from the real background, these people are definitely afflicted by complex, maybe the complex of one type or the other. But let me tell you that all sort of these complexes actually create a kind of hypocritical behavior and attitude in a human being. And this is all, this is not going to give us anything else in return except the problems, except the complications, and except the complexes. If at all somebody is totally oblivious of the danger of these complexes and complications, then someone might should carry it on. Otherwise, this is something which makes the life of a human being quite an uncomfortable and quite an unnatural one, quite an uncomfortable one, and quite an unnatural is the life of a person who is having a double personality, who is having the dual face. There shouldn't be. And let me tell you that this sort of complex, the people who are trying to be a part of the upper class, and the people who are trying to distance themselves from the rest, from their real background, from their real roots, and these are the people actually who are suffering from the inferiority complex. Not only the inferiority complex, but several other types of complexes as well. But let me tell you that if at all the complex is of one type, or the complex is that of another type, this is a kind of complex, and it is there to create a psychological complications. This is there to create a psychological complications. And we cannot live comfortably, we cannot live happily if at all we are suffering from the complex, either it is a kind of inferiority complex or any other type of complex. But the complexes are the complexes which must be avoided. It is far better for us that we do stick to our roots, and we do own our roots, and we do own our background, and we must be grateful to the people who have contributed for our development and progress, and we must be grateful to the people who have even contributed, who have even made a trivial sort of contribution for our development and progress. And we should also be grateful to the people who at least did not lay any sort of hurdle on our way to development and progress. I think that we should also be happy with the people. We should also be stay in touch with the people. We should also be ready to welcome the people with whom we did stay in touch, with whom we did play during our childhood. Thank you.